Hello, everyone. It's Thursday night live stream with the guy who played the football, coached the football, the one Pepper Johnson, and of course Ken and Anthony. I'm Becker tagging in for Jeff and Anthony with all his sports betting acumen. Guys, how we doing tonight?
Yay!
I am mighty fine, mighty fine.
I'm in the middle of a hurricane. So if I happen to get bounced out of here, it's because we lost power or something like that.
Stay
You've always
safe,
been
buddy.
all wet, Ken. You're all wet.
Yeah, we had power flickers about 4 times already, but it hasn't gone out yet.
Well, that's good. We're
my Giants. I'm a no holds barred Giant fan here. I'm more of a Giant fan than anything else. Giants, Yankees. So I'm looking for my Giants to get even with these Dallas Cowboys and put a L on them. Yeah.
Nice.
They got their ass kicked last year. It was like 85 to 17 or something in the two games last year. So let's make them 1-3 and make Jerry Jones look bad for giving this guy $250 million. Yeah,
we got a big rivalry game tonight. It is Cowboys and Giants. Pep, what do you got? Who do you got for this one?
I'm with Anthony. I'm with the Giants. I'm never going to root for the Cowboys now.
I didn't figure you would.
Right?
That's a no-brainer right there.
I mean, you played for the Giants. That doesn't necessarily make you a fan, but you got to just hate the Cowboys.
You know what? I don't hate the Cowboys because that means if you hate them, that means you kind of silently like something about them. So I don't like anything about them. I sat up there and I watched the guys just do some terrible things, in previous years. And one of the things that I think they're going through now is that they had Ezekiel and they want to pass the ball when they get in the red zone. That was one of the things that I thought was so bad by the Dallas Cowboys. And I watched Ezekiel run them all the way down the field, and then they start trying to pass the ball. I don't understand it, but it was kind of like a little blessing because they were screwing up. So let Dallas go ahead and screw up. But then they do that same technique against our guys, and some kind of way they pass the ball in. So it's like we don't change up, or we're not matching what's giving them problems in the with other teams. So that's what I would like to see. I would like to see for someone to just step up and take the stage, giant wise, and just lead us into that right direction where we play a good game, everybody just play very strong, and we can beat these guys.
Yeah. So you think it's the coaching staff of the Dallas Cowboys that's given Dak the opportunities to make poor decisions in the red zone?
To me, I mean, it's one of those things. It's funny. It's funny that these guys, these announcers, the analysts, and all this stuff, they would say a million different things on TV, and maybe they probably have said it, and I just haven't caught it. But the most productive teams are in the red area for years. Have been the teams that can run the ball in. And if you can't run the ball in, then the whole passing effect of it is, it's ridiculous. And the area of the field, it reduces. It's
right.
Shrinks. So you don't have the combination routes that you would have out in the field. Everything gets condensed, and the safeties don't have to back up so much, and linebackers and everybody is closer together. So you don't have the different opportunities. So people try to run in motion and and do mess like that. And it's shift formation, give them all different type of disguises and sets and all that stuff like that. But really, with all honesty, defensively, the only thing I do is just really sit still and let them come to you, and eventually you're gonna you can make a play on the ball.
That's interesting you brought that up, because I've always felt like that. When you look at Canadian football and they have that 20-yard end zone, that they don't have that problem. There's more options in the passing game, and it facilitates the passing game even in the red zone. And I always wondered if the NFL would consider expanding the end zone because of that.
Well, they still have the problem. It's just not. It's not as condensed as the NFL. It's just 10 yards shorter. So it's
10 yards longer. You mean they have a 20-yard end zone?
Yeah, we're 10 yards shorter. So
yeah, we're 10 yards shorter. Yeah.
It's still the same thing. So you put the ball on the 3-yard line in Canadian League, and now you have high red zone. The same thing. The safeties don't have anywhere that they really need to go. And then it's worse with those guys because they are not even trying to attempt to try to run the ball. So, but there's enough changes in the NFL trying to doctor on a game that you let me tell it was the best sport, and you're trying to fix something that's never was broke.
So, Dak Prescott, right? I mean, we're in the twilight of his career here, I think.
What? He just signed a 5-year,
already?
$250 million contract.
No, he's only got a couple years left.
Oh my God! Why would the guy give him $250 million?
Because Jerry Jones is a certified
lunatic.
Well, you guys,
I think that the guy has never been in a system with the Dallas Cowboys he's ever been comfortable with.
Well, how do you give a guy more money like that? So much money. What has he won? One playoff game.
Yep.
He hasn't won Super Bowls. He hasn't even competed for Super Bowls. One playoff game.
I've said in the past that Jerry Jones should fire the general manager because he's the worst general manager in the history of any sport.
His son?
Himself.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I knew it was an inside family.
Himself. I mean, seriously. I mean, what general manager would be in place after 20, 30 years of not winning a championship? Winning how many? You could count on your hand how many playoff games they've won since the last time they won a Super Bowl. It's pathetic. It really is.
You guys,
he ran his Super Bowl winning quarterback out of town.
Right, and coaches.
I meant coach. Yeah, Jerry.
He ran the coach out of town. He ran the players out of town.
Jimmy.
I mean, just because of ego. Barry Switzer won with Jerry's team. Everybody knows it. Barry knows it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. He ran his coach out of town.
Yep. So I mean, it's really terrible. I mean, there is no general manager in the history of any sport that would be in place for as long as Jerry Jones has been. But when you're the owner of the team, and there's no accountability for yourself, this is where we are. And he would even if he did step down and appoint somebody other than his son, you think they'd really have any power? He'd be all over him. He'd be,
Well, guys, you don't want to hear what I have to say.
Why not?
Well, I do.
The whole reason we're doing this show.
Okay, well, there is not one player in the NFL being paid for his talents. So they're not paying Dak Prescott for his talent and his ability to play quarterback. It's all marketing. So Jerry Jones make all his money in catering and all this stuff, and like I'm forgetting the freaking words. But he is
Merchandising and concessions.
concessions. Yeah,
Yes.
he's that's all what he care about is marketing. It said if you look at if you take the Super Bowl commercials and you see how some are hitting a point,
Yeah.
but the majority of them are jokes and entertainment and far from whatever the product really is. And just NFL commercials today. I mean, they took that and they just ran with it, and it's all a part of marketing. So you take your quarterback, which this guy is spoke upon here on our podcast. Everybody, they talk about him. So if he throws a couple of touchdowns, that there, that's why we paid him all this money. He don't throw touchdowns. Why are we paying him all this money? However you slice it, there you still have people talking about him, and that's marketing. If we stop talking about him and no one pays any attention to him, now you have a problem. Even the freaking offensive lineman. It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing. They don't get mentioned as much, but once they get a guy and they can, whether he's getting beat up or something like that, they're going to try to roll with it just to justify what the guy does. Yeah, I've seen some of the better who are named some of the better offensive linemen in the game. And they just hold better, and the referees are not calling the penalty. That's all. Why would you have? Why you got to have such a big guy to grab somebody? I don't understand.
What I want to know is why
I want to bring up one player in the NFL that I do think is getting paid for his talent, and I'm going to send that over to my Chiefs fan over there and have him tell everybody who's getting paid for his talent.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, sir. He is getting paid for his talent.
MVP.
I think.
Yeah. You see, Patrick Mahomes, all his commercials.
But I mean, in the NFL, isn't he the highest paid player in the NFL?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
He's not really.
To me,
I thought he was.
When you talk about a player being the highest
Is
paid
he?
player in the NFL, or who's getting paid and all that stuff like that, it's to me, I put it in the same category as who paid the most money for their Super Bowl commercial. Because I'm not trying to take nothing away from Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes is playing street football in Johnson's eyes.
Number one right now is Dak Prescott, the guy who just threw an incomplete
and number
pass.
2 is Patrick, I think.
Number 4 is Patrick.
Oh, I thought he was at 40-something. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, Patrick is getting paid because he deconstructed the quarterback position and made it more fun and exciting. I mean,
we like him here in Kansas City.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's that is so untrue to football people. That might be true to someone that just that don't really like the game or understand the game. I don't have to watch a guy run around and wait to his receivers after they jogging off the ball and wait for them to uncover to say that he's a great quarterback or he's an awesome quarterback. Let me see. Once upon a time, the difference from a college quarterback and a pro quarterback was the college quarterbacks waited for the receivers to get open. The pro quarterbacks threw it to a spot where the receiver was supposed to be. And that's how they was judged. That's how they was labeled. Once upon a time, Randall Cunningham was criticized so much about him scrambling. If we would have had a podcast back then, you guys would have been saying the same thing about why do he run so much and why he's scrambling. He knew that this guy was supposed to be open, but he got covered, and so he's allowing somebody else to get to uncover, and then on top of these other quarterbacks in the league, I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes, but I name a few quarterbacks that they don't know what their second and third read's supposed to be. So, or what that guy is. So when their first receiver is covered, they start to scramble. And look, so that guy got up there and waited for him. Nice.
All right, 3rd and 4. Giants forced a punt. So let's go.
Oh, I think I'm a little ahead of you. Sorry, Anthony.
Oh yeah! Look at neighbors go.
There it is.
Good
now
draft
he's
pick.
caught up.
But the one thing I got to say about Patrick Mahomes is if you were player personnel, if there was the first player to start your team with, you could pick anybody in the league. I think Patrick Mahomes, as far as football people, would be that number one on everybody's list.
On everybody's list?
Everybody's list.
Well, I guess
who would be number one on your list, Pep? I'm curious. Like if you had fantasy scenario, you're running a team, you can have any player in the NFL. Who's the first guy you're spending money
on? A defensive leader.
Yeah.
Do you see many of those right now?
Yeah.
No, not. I mean, there are some in a for the rights. I can't sit up here and say I look at the game, watch these games enough to really put my thumbprint on one guy or stand on the table for one guy. But there's no way I'm going to ever put all my marbles or start my team off with the freaking quarterback, because I can coach a quarterback to playing to what I feel how the game should be played. So it's never going to be a quarterback. The number one guy for me is a running back, and so that means I better get me some offensive linemen that can push people around. I believe in the whole running the ball. I've never lost a game. Felt like I lost a game when the other team passed the ball 50 or 60 times, and I'm still feeling as fresh as I did when I started the game. When if someone come out there and thank goodness I never experienced this. I watched it. I experienced it from the freaking sideline in college, but I never been out there and just had somebody run the ball right down our throat and just smash mouth and just knock you around. Never had that guy. I'm blessed.
I want to check in with the sorry, Pep. I just want to check in with the chat real quick. Neil has been commenting throughout this stream. He wanted to say, Ken, it was great to meet you in Edmonton finally. Jones should retire. His ego is way too high, and it's funny when his team loses. And holy crap, Anthony's walls are amazing with all the art. I think when players of any sport get paid the most, they seem to always suck afterwards. And then he laughed when Dak threw the ball at the ground. So I just wanted to say thanks for commenting, Neil, and we see you there.
That's cool. I'm on my phone and I don't have the chat. How do I find it? Oh my goodness!
Could I go totally in left field right now?
Yeah, do it. It's your show, man.
Because I just got turned back, not just regular back in time. I went all the way back to like 10 or 11 years old. I spoke to Willie Lanier. Now, when you guys ask me about building a team, and who would I start with? That would be a guy that I would start with on building my team. Of course, he don't play anymore. He's older.
Drama time.
For me. But I'm with you with Kansas City. Your
Oh
guy,
my God, he made it.
Yeah, your guy was with Kansas. Yeah, your TV is so late, Anthony.
Yes.
You got a modern day Kansas City Chief. I got the first African American inside linebacker in the NFL. I spoke to him on the phone, and I spoke to him off of a pocket dial. It's
wow.
So embarrassing. I played golf with some guys, and one of the guys, Steve, he was telling me about how he do business with Willie Lanier and blase this and blase that, and I'm sitting over there like, oh my goodness, I gotta ask him, and I asked him how is Willie and this, that, and other, and we got to talking about him, blah 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 blah. He tried to call him right then, but it didn't. The call didn't go through, so he told me eventually he was going to talk to him, and he called me back maybe about 3 or 4 days. It was, as a matter of fact, it was Ken, you was in town then. Mark Wahlberg, Mark golf tournament. And so we he called me back. He said. And he texted me. I'm sorry. He just texted me Willie Lanier's phone number. And I'm like, you must be kidding. I'm not just getting ready to pick up my phone and dial Willie Lanier. But at the same token, I was like, man, call Willie Lanier. So I called Willie Lanier, and I got his voicemail. I left a voice message. I end up, sending him a text anyway, and said who I was, and friend of Scott Steve, and he, I don't know, this is Pepper Johnson's life. Ken have heard a lot of these stories from me, and I sat up there and I'm leaving out. I'm getting ready to go over to my mother's house. And I grabbed my phone and put it in my pocket. And when I walk out the door, turn around, lock the door back, all of a sudden I hear, hello? Someone playing on the phone? And I'm like, oh, this is great. I grab my phone, I look at it, and it's, because I plugged his number in and I locked it in. I put his name in and all that stuff like that. So I locked it in. So when I got my phone out of my pocket, I look and I see Willie Lanier. I'm like, legend. The legend Willie Lanier. That's how I got him on my phone.
That's a good title for him.
I started, Mr. Lanier, sir. I am so sorry. I did not want this the first time that I talked to you off of this. And gentlemen, I'm going to keep it the majority of the conversation to myself because it was so beautiful. But he is, speaking with him, just like how I felt like the person that I've watched on TV and I saw in an interview and all that stuff like that. It's just, and everything that that our mutual friend shared about him that he did. He was telling me not to, don't be so apologetic as things happen and and stuff happened for a reason and blah 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 blah. And man, I was 11 years old. I was 11 years old.
I personally think it's really cool that, you've met every football player under the sun, I'm sure, in your life, and that you can still, at this point in life, still get excited at talking about having a phone conversation with your hero.
Oh, yeah. My god brother, growing up, he was a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So, he got the best out of me. It don't matter what team I like. He got the best out of me because the Pittsburgh Steelers was rolling then, right? Okay, when I finally meet Mean Joe Green, Mean Joe Green is he's so jovial. He's joking and he pushed me. He pushed me in the back of my head laughing and joking, and I was like, dude, me and Joe Green just pushed me in my head. I couldn't wait to tell Chip. I couldn't wait to tell my god brother. I was like, dude, me and Joe Green pushed me in the back of my head. And I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. Anybody else push me in the back of my head, I'm turning around punching them. But me and Joe Green, when I met Mel Blount, and Mel Blount, people talk about freaking cornerbacks, and they it seemed like everybody forget about Mel Blount and what the guy did and how he changed the game and at that position and all that stuff. Even while he was playing, those guys benefited, the Lester Hayes and guys like that. So he would straight out, and I don't know if I should use this verbiage, but he's straight out date raping guys and driving them out of bounds. And when I met him, he had on this big cowboy hat. And he's already like 6'4", and then he had on this big cowboy hat. It made him larger than life, and I'm laughing. I'm feeling good. It's like that was another big moment for me. And another one of my closest friends, like my brother, but he lived across the street from Frenchie Fuqua. And Frenchie, Frenchie is he don't like it, but he's highly known for the catch, for the immaculate reception. He's the guy that Jack Tatum hit, that knocked the ball up in the air that Franco caught and ran it for a touchdown. And Frenchie, that's what he's known for. So he. Sitting in his basement and looking at some of his pictures and old photos of the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, so that fueled Pepper Johnson. I'm not, like I'm saying, like some of this stuff is me as a grown man. Some of it is retired, from playing, and some of it is retired from coaching. And it's still, those guys have that effect. A lot of players playing in the league right now, I don't think, forget myself, but even Lawrence Taylor is having that freaking effect on a lot of these guys. Some of the dudes I've seen, LT and some of the younger players, and it looked like they're sizing him up. Like, oh man, I could have did that. Or he don't look that amazing to me. Little do they know.
So you were in town for the 100 best Giants ever. Did you enjoy that? What was the highlight of that trip?
The highlight of that trip was my ex-teammates. The highlight of that was my ex-teammates. Just getting a chance to laugh and crack jokes with Phil Simms and Brad Benson and Keith Hamilton. I go from the older guys before me to the younger guys that I actually played with. That made that list.
They're not so young anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
You're 60, right?
I am 60.
Yeah. But the cool thing is that all four of your linebackers were on that list, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
That's cool.
Carl, LT. You're talking about, yep. Carl, LT. Myself,
Banks.
and Gary. Yep. And then you got to add Gary too. Gary Reasons was on the list.
Also. Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
He was a linebacker?
Yes, sir. 55.
Brad Van Pelt.
But Brad Van Pelt was there. Well, he wasn't there, but his son was there. He was number 10. Brian Kelly wore the 55. Now, those were the other four guys before us. So
yeah, that was
LT, Harry, BK, and Brad Van Pelt. His son Bradley.
Did you see that textbook stalk blocking that was going on right there?
Say it again.
Did you see that textbook stalk blocking that was going on right there?
Yeah, I'm telling you, they sitting up there grabbing each other, and it's no big deal that we don't have on clothes, we don't have on a uniform. We rather look cool. I don't get it. I think I said it on one of the shows before about the whole Jerry Rice deal. And guys said, Jerry Rice was said on TV, and I'm glad he said it. It just made me proud of how I dress. Jerry said that you look good, you play good. I don't want to look good, and I don't want to play good. I want to look nasty, and I want to play nasty.
Yeah.
So it looked grimy and play grimy. So I didn't care about my pads being ripped up. I wore what I wore. Wore the shoes what I wore. These guys are putting on different shoes, and it's Monday Night Football, and I can care less.
Well, we got a third down here. Third and
3.
3. It was 1st and 20. They got a penalty, but we'll see. Get a stop here. I just we didn't go over our bets, but I got a unit on the Giants as a fan bet, +6 at home, so I'm up 9, and then I teased them up to 12, and I teased the the under up. So I'm looking for a low-scoring tight game.
Now, the same way you, and I'm not talking about anyone specifically. I'm sorry, it's just my vernacular. But people criticize that. You should also give him credit for that right there, because he
hitting his fullback.
Yeah, and he threw the ball to the guy and made catchable ball, and the guy got the first down.
A fullback.
Yeah. Well, it does.
First down, the first down.
Yeah, as long as he got it. Yeah, exactly. He got on the eligible receiver. As long as he didn't throw it to one of those guys with 70 and 60 on.
Like that tight pass right there. Holy smokes.
See, but now, and I heard someone, criticizing this kid about sometimes they go to him too much, and I agree with that.
Who's CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah, sometimes they go to him too much.
Now, that could have been pass interference.
I just want to say, hey, real quick to my buddy Biggie is in the chat, and we also got Stanley is here, and he wants to know, Pep, who's the best in the NFC East right now?
It's September.
It's September. He said.
It's September. Tell him that to ask me that question 30 days from now.
You heard him, Stanley. Come back, ask that one in 30.
Close.
And my buddy Biggie, he's a big college ball fan. He lives in Ohio, but somehow he's a Michigan fan.
What?
Well, we have some of those.
Yeah, Pep played for Ohio State, Biggie.
Yeah,
and lives in Michigan.
Raised in Detroit.
Born and raised in Detroit.
Look at that defense. I'll tell you, from a month from now, we're going to say the Giants have the best defense in the NFC East. I don't know if their record will reflect it, but
Well, you got 3rd and 3 here.
got another third down. They're not they're not making it easy.
Yeah.
They might tie the game up here, but they're not making it easy, this defense.
Oh.
Okay.
Are you guys ahead of me? They're still on.
Yeah, we're ahead.
Yeah, I think you gotta fast forward.
Oh, come on. Now
Biggie says his mom went to OSU. He's still in the fam.
Exactly. But that's what? It's small things like that make the rivalry even that much stronger. But at the same token, it's still the best rivalry in any sport. I don't care. You can talk baseball, you can talk, well, it's impossible to say anything in basketball, but I don't know if there's a rivalry in soccer. I don't know enough about it.
Duke Carolina basketball is up there.
No way. No way is that.
No, that polarizes the whole nation, when Coach K was there and all that.
Listen to what you just said. You said when he was there.
Oh,
They're not that first it's so season to compare several games in a season to one. And now you got to start counting down the next time when you can get that opportunity again. And then that one time when you play, how many of those games have been for the Big Ten championship? It was for a championship.
Got a holding penalty, I think.
Yeah,
hands to the face. Typical Cowboys, got to get that offensive penalty to knock you back every time.
Right.
Just a little more room to pass. That's all. Then they
You gonna run a screen here? Really?
Interesting.
wow.
I see a flag. Yeah.
Another flag.
Already you see a flag? They just hiked the ball. The Amazon is faster. Oh, no. He's in the end zone.
Yeah.
Flag.
You got to get you out of that. Well, you're not even in your warehouse.
No, I'm just on regular TV.
He's on regular TV. I think Amazon's Amazon delivers fast. Got that Prime.
Glad you guys
one day.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I was
both on the Giants.
Really? He had to signal that he was accepting the penalty? Oh my! The guy scored. Duh.
Stanley asks, do Giants and Jets fans ever switch? Ken, do you ever know any Jets fans that became Giants fans, vice versa?
Never. That's like a Mets fan becoming a Yankee fan.
No. Yeah.
Never happened.
It's really ingrained. There's no crossover. It's usually Mets, Jets, and Giants, Yankees. Period.
That's usually how it divides, huh?
Usually, you'll occasionally find a Mets fan who's a Giants fan, or vice versa.
99 out of 100.
Yeah, it's usually Mets, Jets, Giants.
And that 1 out of 100 is some contrarian Cowboy fan that, when Aikman and that team was good when they were kids, just to be difficult.
Yeah.
And as fans, we love our rivalries, but
you didn't switch over though. The Giant fans did not switch over to try to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. That did not happen.
No, I can't imagine it would.
Yeah, that did not happen. And any true Giant fan know that the same way Ken joked with me about Walls and Diassi coming over to helping us win Super Bowl 25 because Parcells was that smart of a guy. There's no way, and I will say this again, I will go to Dallas, Texas and say it again because I have said it when I got off the plane and when I walked into that freaking stadium. There's no way they would have ever won a Super Bowl if Parcells and Joe Gibbs would have stayed on Washington and with the Giants. They wasn't winning all those Super Bowls. We probably would have had us another one, or Washington would have had them another one. But only thing they did was just learn from all the butt kickings that we gave them. And when those guys got off the sideline, then all of a sudden, those people that you're talking about, Jimmy Johnson and all that mess, now all of a sudden he becomes a freaking superstar, a super coach.
Getting back to
Johnson said that.
Getting back to rivalry games, though, for Michigan, Ohio State, like we all know as fans, it's a big game, but as a player that lived through those games, like Can you add any insight to what game day on that kind of rivalry is?
Oh, again, let me give you one of my stories. So my freshman year, I'm not even gonna bore you guys with my first kickoff tackle, getting Anthony Carter out the 20.
There's Pep whiffing on Herschel.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they just showed
if Herschel was on the field, then yeah, you probably did see Pep. And Herschel scored?
Yeah, Herschel scoring on you. He ran right past you.
Yeah.
No, wasn't on me.
You were looking at the lights.
Yeah, wasn't on me. I don't have that on my resume.
What number? What number were you?
I'm number 52.
Wait a minute. Okay, here it is. Where is it?
Oh, what was that?
Oh, he went over you.
Anthony, you can try your comedy routine somewhere else. This person right here, Pepper Johnson, has never at any football level ran over for a touchdown. Never happened. Pepper Johnson ain't never been ran over, period. But for a touchdown, never happened. We back when I played, we weren't giving guys credit for making tackles in the running back still fall forward. You was mad about that unless you caught him in the backfield and clipped him, clipped his legs or something like that. But other than that, no. It's the chest tackles that we talked about, we bragged about. But anyway, let me go. Let me talk about go to Ohio State right quick. All right, so at my freshman year at Ohio State, we beat Michigan in the rivalry game, right? Okay, now my mother, there's no way in the world she was driving that far. My mother just got her driver's license, 40-something years old. But anyway, my aunt brought her out there. So after the game, I saw him, hey, nice game, and this, that, and other. And they had passes, that they could park close to the stadium. So y'all, you go ahead and drive back around. I cut across the campus and I'll meet y'all at the dorm, right? Okay, so, it's a lot easier for me to walk across the campus than them driving in the traffic. So Friday before the games, or Saturday morning, really a lot of the businesses, they board up on the main street. It's called High Street, and it was a reason why it was called High Street. And they board up all the buildings, on High Street, because they know the fans are going to be out there. They know it was going to be crazy because they knew we was going to spank that school up north. But okay, so when my aunt she's driving out, and she comes down High Street. They're looking and laughing. They loving that the people are all up on top of buildings, killing beers and throwing beer cans off the building or whatever. And so when she gets down to my street to make a right, coming by my dorms, they run across a pack of people. When they see my aunt's license plates with Michigan license plates, they start rocking the car, like trying to tip it over. So my aunt, she leans out the window. I got Pepper Johnson's mother in the car. Pepper Johnson's mother is in the car. She don't say I'm the aunt. She just say I got Pepper Johnson's mother in the car. And so somebody with a beer in hand. The only reason why they didn't tip it over because they got a beer in one hand. They tried to tip the car over with the other hand. So, hey man, Pepper Johnson's mother in the car. Pepper Johnson's mother in the car. So now, they escorting the car like it's the freaking president's car. They escorting the car up into what we call the docks, is the back of between these two dorms, Smith and Steve dorms. And by the time they got there, I didn't change out of my clothes and put on my, whatever, my jogging suit or whatever. And I see this like about 30 people running alongside of this car and like, hey, Pep, hey, man, we got your mother. We took care of your mother, made sure everybody stayed away from it. And okay, when I was asked, and after you pretty much this is how this is the question that you gave me. What was bigger, the first time I came out of the tunnel at Ohio State, or witnessing a bunch of students escorting my mother and aunt?
Like she's the president.
Yeah. And I'm just a freshman. And they escorted. Now they did it by C. Well, it got better by C. I mean, they did a lot of things by senior year, but it, all American. So, but for them to escort her and bringing her around and we got her, and then they said here, and then they tried to throw me a couple of beers. I was like, no, trying to be shy, wait for my mother and them to get on the road to go back to Detroit before I started drinking. But dude, it was that feeling was unbelievable. That feeling was unbelievable. I never seen so many people on the street. On the street, you couldn't really drive. You couldn't really drive down the street because the students was all in the streets.
But so yeah, definitely. I mean, and you're a guy that has in NFL, you had your rivalries. Obviously, you were a Giant, so Cowboys are your big rivalry. But nothing probably compared to that feeling in college.
See, yeah. Ohio State, Michigan, Dallas and us, Washington and us, Philadelphia, the Turnpike, all that stuff. Fine and dandy, but I don't think it matched up to, because it's college. You're still playing for the love of the game, and everybody is still playing for the love of the game. I can understand why these guys, the passion is not exactly the same here, is because it's the love of the game has been so diluted. You got to do certain things. There's no way in the world I'm switching helmets. I know you guys are probably tired of me saying this stuff, but it's no way in the world I'm wearing one helmet this week and another helmet another week. A jersey, one thing. A helmet, no. Not even you're not even getting me take off my shoes. Wow.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah, I think the penalty is on Dallas though. Hopefully. But it's these guys, they have to do this for the show of the game. And like I was saying earlier, we got measured and fitted for shoulder pads in your equipment. Now, they don't have to. Everybody wearing kicker shoulder pad.
Oof.
And then I'm not seeing. And see, they trying to criticize Daniel Jones now. Oh, if you would have just put it out there, he called himself trying to baby to throw. But nice. Now that's an awesome play by Robinson to catch the ball and have enough sense of mind to
first down
to go back. See, like a good now the real good quarterbacks is throwing that ball on his back shoulder that lead him to make that move. Or you're going to throw it in front of him and let him reach and catch it and keep going. But the linebacker is so busy trying to run so fast. Got a touchdown. Get a touchdown.
My buddy Biggie says Niners Cowboys was always a fun rivalry. Full disclosure, though, he's a 49ers fan, folks.
Yeah, and see, that's, you know what, that's a good thing. The 49ers needed somebody to try to be a rivalry with. They needed somebody because they didn't have anybody out there in that freaking division.
The Seahawks weren't cutting it.
Yeah, they was. Come on, man, they sitting up there playing Atlanta.
Biggie says Browns Bengals too are a good rivalry. I don't know about that.
It's just I don't see any of those things, any of those games being rivalry.
Touchdown. Oh, why did he not score?
Nope.
I got to switch to Amazon. I can't stand this. You're ahead of me.
Anthony going crazy.
Oh, he's out at the 1.
I don't even think he got that close, but I don't think he was in bounds.
So, Pep, when you were coaching with New England, did that cure you of being a Giants fan?
No.
But
okay. Me being a fan of the Giants, stopped when Dan Reeves came over there.
Oh yeah, okay.
Me being a fan of individual players, Rodney Hampton, Dave Mangitt, Mark Ingram, the guys that was still there.
Still there, yeah.
That was kind of that's a different beast. I still, I'm going to forever love my teammates, but the way that, to me, I felt like I wish the organization would have understood my position and why I said some of the things that I said. I was mad, and I can't say I regret it, because to me I was telling the truth. I was telling the truth on the things that was happening, but I didn't want the Giants to give up on me, and I felt like Dan Reeves came over there, and we just beat them we beat them 4 years ago in the freaking Super Bowl. Well,
yep.
About 6 years ago, but in 2 years, he got rid of every player that was on that team, that was still on that team, and I,
like, presented them for beating them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Really?
everybody that was on that Super Bowl 21 team, he got rid of in 2 years. Even LT, and what I was getting ready to say, like I remember Strahan saying in the interview about how LT came to practice some of the time, but they told him that. They told him he didn't have to come to practice, and that he could just show up on Friday, get the third down game plan, and then they show up for the game, or get on the plane Saturday or whatever. And so, of course, he did some of the times when he could. He said he tried to go up in there, and I got a call from Lawrence Taylor. That was crazy, saying that he walks in the locker room and he don't know anybody. He said, man, so it took his passion for the game away, and that was done and implemented by freaking Dan Reeves. And
drama time field goal.
Yep, 7-6.
Oh wow! Right,
stuff like that.
Well, it looks like we got a kicker at least.
Yeah, we can get down there. It's just, hey man, you can't run the ball. You're gonna have them freaking problems, or you don't want to run the ball, because in order to run the ball, you gotta want to run the ball.
Yeah.
I try to leave some of my stories more for the commercials than what the game is on. If I can remember what we talked about, I keep a pen over here and give us something to talk about then. But yeah, I became more of I went back to being a Giant fan. The more I was away and in other organizations, made me appreciate the Giants more and what we tried to do. It takes a lot of energy to try to hold a group of guys of that magnitude together, and with that talent and all that stuff like that. We talk, and I can only imagine today. I know people. Some of my good friends badmouth Nick Saban for retiring. Now that he don't want to see college guys getting paid or whatever like that. Yeah, you're right. I don't blame him. I would have did this. I probably would have did the same thing if I was over there with him, or if I was coaching college. I probably would have walked out also, because that was one of the reasons why I never coached college, is because I can't recruit. I know I can't sit up there and tell any kid he's better or he's so good that I want to have him on my team. I think I can. I think I've learned enough through my experiences in the game and from the guys that taught me the game that I can coach people to playing well. If I had a guy, Becker, you, a better
not me.
player,
I am no athlete.
No. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know that. I'm not agreeing with you right now, but I'm just saying. You think you're stopping me now? I was getting ready to have you against Ken. So if you was a better middle linebacker than Ken was, but Ken got so much of an attitude that he don't fit the room. Or I'm sorry, but you got so much attitude that you don't fit the room. But Ken fits the room. I'm going to take Ken with less athletic ability and coach him up so that you don't really know that he does. A friend of mine sent me an interview with Nick Saban talking about how the game of the linebackers today and all that stuff like that. And he brought me up and said, how I would pancake somebody, running the ball. But his point was to the linebackers now, they put the linebackers out on the field because these guys are running 4.6, low 4.6s and at 240 pounds or 230 pounds and can run with the seam routes and all that stuff like that, right? And my friend sent me the clip and was like, Pep, oh man, Nick, big time. He called you out. Out of people thinking, it's one thing he calling out Alabama guys, but he's calling out Pepper Johnson. And I was like, yeah, but you didn't listen to the rest of the interview. He was talking about how these guys can cover the seam. One of the first disagreements, I don't want to say arguments because I never would argue with Coach Saban, is that he was trying to talk to me and some other guys about lining up and covering the slot and rerouting the slot. But I thought he was talking to them. He wasn't talking to me. So I wasn't paying attention. And he got mad. He started screaming at me. I was like, dude, I can't stand like a robot. He was telling me 4x4 or some he had some rule. Run the ball. Why can't
Real quick, Pep, I just want to say hi. We have a few more in the chat. My buddy Higgs is here saying hey. Higgs. And yeah, Higgs, what's up? And Stanley said that he thought Dan Reeves was a good coach. Well, and then just some people saying hi to each other.
Yeah,
Just wanted to catch up on the chat.
I don't disagree with him. That Dan Reeves. Oh my goodness.
Oh jeez. Lamb had time to make an egg.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they're going to CD Lamb too much. Who said that?
no, I said that some of the time they do go to him too much. We're not covering them.
Yeah. I remember that Super Bowl. I was on the field with the press pass, and I was on the Denver sideline right next to John Elway when he was warming up. And then I got kicked off the field.
I got kicked off the field.
I was a kid, What year was that? I don't even remember.
86.
That was 86? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the actual
Well,
year
I wasn't that
87.
much of a kid. No, that was 86? Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's 86 season and 87 year.
Oh,
yeah, because it would have been in February.
I wasn't that much of a kid. Wow.
I'm taking my mom to her first NFL game this year. Chiefs Raiders. Day after Thanksgiving.
Chiefs Raiders. There we go. Nice.
Yeah, I'm just happy to get to do something with her that she's really excited about it.
Yeah. Well, you can't that should be a good game.
Yeah. Yeah, she's coming in from Iowa for it and gonna stay with us for the holiday and for Thanksgiving, and then the next day her and I are going to the game together. Yeah. Marcus Weiss says to see Taylor. Yeah. So my mom would probably be more impressed with that than I would be.
Nice. So Anthony, so why did 88 flex?
Why did CD Lamb flex? What?
Yeah. Why did he flex? What about that play, his touchdown, took muscles?
Well, I don't know. He just ran by people. He didn't really run through anybody. He just ran by him. Yeah.
He ran by him. Okay.
Yeah.
See, and see that's how we look at the game, we view the game differently. He didn't run by anybody. The freaking safety took such a bad angle at him.
No, yeah, he did.
He should have been knocking the mess out of him. The corner is reaching and trying to grab his jersey. Like that's to me that's the difference from exceptional defensive back and a regular defensive back or a good defensive back, and some guys that these guys be putting on pedestals and all that stuff like that is if they catch the ball, that people don't get me wrong, I'm not all of a sudden converting into a super Deion Sanders fan, but Deion Sanders, people are talking about he didn't tackle. Yeah, he did tackle. If you caught a pass on Deion Sanders, he tackled you very aggressively. He tried his best to slam you on the ground and make you think about trying to catch the ball again on him. But you get guys now, they catch the pass and they happy with a push out of bounds. They happy with holding on this jersey and then somebody else coming and make the tackle for him. See, that guy wasn't even really running, chasing them behind him.
No, not even trying.
Yeah. You got to be so freaking mad that guy caught that pass. I'm sitting up here telling my 10-year-old grandson, hey, man, I want you mad. I want you mad at these guys. I went and seen him play last weekend. like, hey man, why in the world is that coach calling a run play for them to run it over here? I know it's little league, and don't get me, kid, but they just running it right and left. But hey man, but I want him to have that mentality. You run the ball over here, you think I'm the weak link? That was my attitude. When I finally got into the starting lineup, you got Carl Banks over here, you got Lawrence Taylor over here, you got Harry Carson on the side of me. What? You think you're gonna run the ball over on me?
He fumbled.
So, Pep, you talked about how we just saw CeeDee Lamb kind of flex on the defensive back that lost containment on him.
And he
I
got
know you didn't have anybody do that to you, but
unsportsmanlike.
as a defensive player, does that hurt your soul, like to see somebody get disrespected that hard?
Oh shoot, yeah. What a teammate? No, I don't think it was Kim, but like one of my and I like the guy what they did with you Google my highlight clips and all that stuff or whatever, that it's a play in there where matter of fact it's Herschel, and Herschel go and he stiff arm or he pushed one of my defensive backs down on the ground, and then I come late. Now granted, it's about 7 or 8 yards down the freaking field when I hit him, but hey, pick on somebody your own size. And I come over there and I knocked the mess out of him, by the sideline before he can get out of bounds. Now, I'm not bragging about the hit, like I really did something because he didn't kind of let up, but I feel like I did to him the same thing what he just did to a smaller guy. So I want him to feel like a chump, and I want him the next time he see this number 5'2", that he's going to try to get me back. I wanted Herschel to try to get me back, but he never tried to get me back because he can't run. Freaking tiptoe when he turned the corner.
I love it. I love it.
I will tell him that. I don't have any problem with that. He couldn't turn the corner. He couldn't run. Through us, like he did some of those other freaking teams. Or my bad. Anthony said that he ran over me.
I think Anthony was trying to get you wound up.
You don't have to do that.
Emmett Smith just did a diaper commercial. Did you help him with his future incontinence at all, Pepper?
Who did the diaper?
Yeah, there was just a commercial on TV. Emmett Smith did a Depends commercial.
A diaper commercial.
Nice. No, Emmett didn't give me.
Hey, we all got to pay bills.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not mad at him. I am not mad at him. I think I would have to see my doctor, and I was like, dude, hey, I used to sit up here and brag and tease my friends about we can't take a road trip because they got to go use the bathroom. And now, if I start thinking about the bathroom, I better stop. And one of my uncles said, hey, Pepper, I told you, now you're at the age, if you get never pass up the opportunity to use the bathroom. You walking past the bathroom, you better take your butt up in that bad boy. And he never lied. I can't be that. I can't cut it off. It is crazy. I know some things that sound like I be making them up, but I can live. I can be in my car.
Oh,
I can be in my car.
What happened?
They used to never threw that ball. I get out of the car, everything fine and dandy. Okay, I can make it to the bathroom. And then the closer I get to the bathroom, the more I got to use the bathroom. And now it's like, Pep, I think you better start running. And next, you know, I'm running, and anybody ever see this face going towards the bathroom?
Just get out of the way,
His
folks.
hands
Get
start
out of the
going
way.
down in his pants, man. Hey, that means get out of the way. I can't. I like to drive. I like road trips, but I cannot. I cannot stop at a regular gas station. I got to stop at a truck stop, because if it's that one stall, somebody's in it.
I do like
bad news for
Bucky's.
yeah. That's me running around the building and
speaking of truck stops, we're starting to get Bucky's in this area, and man, people are losing their mind over it.
Oh yeah.
People like that Bucky's.
You know what? But you know, everything just have a way of circling and just coming back around.
Yeah.
Like I grew up with the once upon a time that you know, the gas station, you know, had everything in it, and then it went to just gas, and then, you know, 7-Eleven took it to like a whole nother level. And you go down south and you get some of the best fried fish, some of the best fried chicken.
Brisket. You know, Bucky's is known for their brisket.
Yeah, Lee. I didn't. Now, my wife said enough is enough, and they had someone making sushi out west. We was out west. I think we was, you know, out by Montana or something, you know, in Wyoming or something like that. The gas station, they had sushi in the gas station. She was like, "Nope, I love sushi."
I think that sounds like food poisoning to me.
Yeah, no, willing to try everything else, but not the sushi at the gas station.
Hey, Anthony, you have a comment in the chat. Marcus says Anthony wishes he could do diaper commercials.
Anthony.
Yeah, I'd like to get paid for them. Sure.
Yeah, I'd like to. Me too.
Hey, man.
No first down.
Yeah, just anybody. If you're young, just don't laugh too soon. Don't laugh too soon. If you mess around and you hit 55, and next thing you know, everything don't shut down like it used to.
All right, we're gonna do a push here. Come on.
Oh, you got a bet closing in here, Anthony?
I got +6. Oh my God! Why would you hand it off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. That guy's got speed.
That man make money.
No, I would. I was thinking about going to this game actually.
Yeah.
They ran to the weak. Oh no, he got pushed to the weak side. That was just all him.
No, they didn't have nobody. They didn't have nobody. He wasn't.
They didn't have anybody blocking.
Make it through there. We didn't have anybody.
Made that happen.
We didn't have nobody to block that dude off back there. So we gotta check that play. We got you see that's these cocky offensive coordinators. You got to get that quarterback. You got to give him enough knowledge of the game that we don't. Yeah, we got enough people to block him over here, but we can't get this dude on the backside.
Pep, do you really go to games anymore, or?
Yeah, and I watch less of the game when I'm at it. When I'm at a game, I can't go and sit in the stands. I'm so bad. I can't go and sit. I can't go and sit in the stands. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I can go and do the Giants game and sit in the legends, but I can't sit in the stands, and I can't sit up there and watch the game for that long a period of time because I see my coaching hat gums on my head. My friends don't like watching games with me.
Well, I think it's been fun today.
Yeah, they get bad because especially like when a group and we can see the whole field, and I start defending the quarterbacks around in the league because you get these two receivers over here jogging because their number wasn't called, and the receiver number that was called, he's running, and you can't figure out why the quarterback is having a hard time, or like what Anthony was saying. So now you want the guy to be able to scramble and all that stuff. I know I've worked with some guys, not Jeff Blake, but I've worked with some guys coaching these high school kids, and they was trying to teach them how to throw the ball like Patrick Mahomes off the side of his arm, sideways or whatever, however you want to call that, and not showing them a proper release and not giving them a target. I'm like, man, we are trying to create monsters. The guy probably would have had some type of quarterback career, but if he's sitting up here trying to emulate how Patrick Mahomes is throwing the ball, that is bad. You're not getting ready to do that. That's him. That's something that he can do. That's something that he's good at. And you don't try to teach that. Now you have someone that can scramble around or it can buy us a little time, and that's one thing.
Oh God. Well, I think Patrick's talent for throwing from different angles came from him playing baseball. You know,
Why would
he
you
was
say,
drafted. He was drafted by MLB.
but why you say that? John Elway played baseball.
Yeah, Elway.
When are you throwing the ball? To me, what you just said, I don't want to see him play baseball because he would really piss me off there because baseball is my first sport. Why in the world?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played baseball first.
Okay.
My first organized. I played them all in the street, but with the three in the street, and we added kickball.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't your first sport kickball?
Yeah, no.
Street hockey.
No, never played street hockey. Never played street hockey. Hockey was only big for us. We would go and sneak into the Olympia.
Okay.
And for years, I thought we was. I used to brag about it. Yeah, when I was a kid, man, we used to sneak in the Olympia. But I really think those kids. The security.
Oh God!
Please tell me.
Are you kidding me?
That's not a fumble. Please tell me he never had the ball.
He did have the ball.
Oof.
He did have the ball.
I mean, obviously a flag went down right away, but
well, what was that flag for?
And who is this guy getting caught? But this is so bad. You don't switch the ball anyway, but he switched the ball and he threw it on the ground. And see, this is another one, man. They want to be talking about these guys.
What are they saying here? Incomplete.
ineligible.
Okay, so he. Oh, that's another one I hate, Anthony. Put that one on your checklist too. Yeah, we all know it's your bad.
Didn't catch the ball. No, it's a good call. But he should have caught the ball.
But he should have caught the ball.
God.
Exactly. and I got kind of a problem with it.
Right? You played tight end in high school, right? I remember.
Yes. Yeah.
You played both ways, linebacker, tight end?
I never left the field, Anthony.
Right? Me neither.
I never left.
I never left the field. They brought me my square toe cleat. Yeah, my kicking shoe.
Oh, you place kicked? I punted. I returned punts and kicks, and I punted.
Yeah, no, I was and I think I said this one before too. I was the second string long snapper, and I was the second string punter. So, but I was our field goal kicker. I was extra point guy. So if our center long snapper would have went down, what do we do? Do we
I get to your
a second kicker or bring in the third string long snapper? or my coach, my high school coach, we just went for it. We didn't punt too many times, and it's not like we had a high power offense while we didn't punt. He went for it on fourth down every time. He double dog dare you to try to score on our defense.
Yeah. Did you do that recently at your high school coaching, where you just went 4 down?
When I was coaching the high school, we didn't see too many fourth downs. We did. Our field goal kicker. We had an awesome field goal kicker, but we didn't bring him on the field too many times. Unfortunately for him, he could kick it. He really could kick it. It had distance and all that stuff, but we rarely got into a predicament where we needed to kick a 50-yard field goal and I think and this kid would make it.
I'll take a field goal before the half.
Yeah.
Then I'll still be winning my +6 and plus 12.
You guys are amazing to me. I cannot. Well, I didn't talk to you about that before. I don't bet in sports anyway, but I couldn't keep up with all of that stuff with how people be betting over and unders and scoring.
Yeah, we've got it here on the Kansas side, but I don't do it because I like my money in my pocket. Yeah. And I'll lose. I know I'll lose. Whatever I pick, it'll be the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you call your bets into me, and then I'll put them in opposite, and then we just won't talk about it, and I'll split it up with you, chop it up with you at the end of the year.
You would win a lot if you went.
You'd be a professional mush.
I am a professional mush.
Yeah.
These guys.
I bet on Baltimore the first week because I thought Kansas City would come in flat, little Super Bowl hangover, and now everybody's talking about how is this team 3-0 as bad as they've been playing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not happy with how they've looked, but I mean, they're getting the W's, so
yeah.
Because you have people reading press clippings and afraid of them.
And Travis Kelce looks like a different player this year, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Well, that guy's his lifestyle is just not conducive.
Caught up to him, yeah. He's looking a little doughy. I say that as a doughy guy, but I'm also not getting paid to play football.
Yeah.
It's years.
Tight end is not not some a position you can just walk out there and not have an edge to you. You have to block. You have to take hits.
Not true.
You can't do that.
Not true, Anthony.
Okay.
The guy over there in San Francisco, catching passes.
Kettle.
He's about the only guy that's blocking and catching.
That's blocking. Yeah.
Yeah, like they don't they don't ask
Kelsey.
to lead block. It's not like he's the plays are called to his side and he got the main block like freaking Howard Cross or something. You know, he's strictly just sitting over there like he's a cutoff block or
Yeah, he's really more of a slot.
Yeah. He's in the slot. So he's blocking a safety or a defensive back, and then like it started the show, he's not blocking. So they just grabbing people.
So you like? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You like Kittle? Then you like how he plays?
Yeah, I do. I like he's a little groundhog. He gets a little grimy. I think they should figure out a way how to get him the ball more in reasonable spots. Like he's running receiver routes. He can run receiver routes, but he don't need to run receiver routes because if you keep him around the linebackers and the down safety, the guys that really can't keep up with him and all that you're going to get more production out of him. Why are we throwing him? He's a guy that can catch a short pass and turn it into a long game for you. And I would be surprised if someone did some type of study on him and his longest plays are from catch and run than somebody throwing it, air in the ball.
I love Kittle. He's a former Hawkeye, so that's my dude. But also, I've got a weird story about him. I went to right before he got drafted. He's an Iowa City guy. I was in Iowa City for Ken knows this. I like to go to like local pro wrestling. And I'm at like a local show in Iowa City in a bar. And one of the wrestlers, unbeknownst to me, was his college roommate. And Kittle actually ran in the ring and threw a bunch of clotheslines and did some pro wrestling stuff. And at the end of it, I went up to him to get his autograph, and I was like, "So are you ever going to do that again?" He's like, "No, the draft's in a week. I'll never do that again." He's like, "They'll get mad at me if I do that."
3 for 3, 9. No, we got 9 points. Hey, AJ. Oh, no. Penalty.
Oh, geez. A lot of flags in this one.
Well, that was a holding and an illegal hands to the face on the last play. Oh, okay. Decline.
Hey, there's our buddy, my buddy Boston Chris is here. He said he's been on playing less like Kittle and more like Shittle the last 2 years. He's also had a bunch of injuries because they try using him like the Pats did Gronk. Well, geez, Boston.
Wow.
Oh, we can't hear you, Pep. Can anybody else hear him? Because I cannot.
No, I hear, but I don't hear him.
Okay.
And I don't hear Ken. Ken's just sitting there like big old.
Can't hear me?
Yo, we can hear you, Ken. Ken's a busy guy, Anthony.
Do some packages.
Still can't hear you. But he can hear us, obviously.
All right, I want to ask Pep a question while he can't hear me. Can you hear me, Pep?
He can hear you. He just can't respond.
Oh, no, he can't anymore. Was it any consolation losing those 2 Super Bowls to the Giants? Oh, no. Can you hear that?
Did you hear
that?
Yeah. If Pep can hear
reaction. Oh, no.
If Pep can hear you, Pep, I'm not with this guy. I didn't come with him per se. Like, I won't get beat up for him.
You're not my +1.
I'm not your plus. I don't have your back, Anthony.
Well, I got 2.
There he is.
You back? Okay.
Hear me now?
Yeah. Hear you now.
Okay. All right. Yes. Yes, I'm not touching anything again. I don't know what made me touch the freaking screen. No, only thing I just heard the end part of losing 2 Super Bowls to the Giants. So what was the start
Oh,
of
was it any consolation? I didn't think you could hear me.
Yeah. Well, it gives it makes for a lot of jokes with my ex teammates. Well, my teammates, because the guys I don't never want to call them ex, but like Lawrence Taylor and Banks, they sneak in a couple of LT more than anybody, but he left it alone now. He didn't. Since I didn't stop coaching over there, he told me I took all the fun out of when I would see him, that he could, call me for point shave, and he talking about I was point shaving. I worked for the. I did a good job working for the other team. Working for us and over on other team sideline. Anything that made me a spy, or I was, because I told him, I said, hey, I got something on all of y'all. I was at all 5 of the Giants Super Bowls. I was out on the field for the first 2. Against Baltimore, I was up in a booth in the suite. And then against the Patriots, I was on the other sideline. So
For both of them, right?
Yeah. So the only people got something for me is the guys that sent administration, the mayors.
I've been at every Super Bowl that they've won. I did not go to the Baltimore game. I thought they were going to get crushed, and they did.
Yeah, they never should have. That was a team that didn't believe that they should be in the Super Bowl, and that's the reason why they lost.
Hey, Ken, who's the other black box on the screen?
That's Pepper's, where we're hearing Pepper from.
Oh, we're hearing him from there.
Yeah.
And we're seeing him on here.
Correct.
So you don't think that Baltimore defense was the reason why the Giants lost that Super Bowl?
No.
Oh, well, okay.
No. The Giants defense was just as good. But the Giant players did not make one person miss a tackle.
Ooh, nice sack. I got the sack. I called that before the game. The Giants are going to get a sack, I said. Yeah.
If you if you can stomach it, but if you watch that game, there's nobody making even attempting to try to make a big play. The first defender over there, the guy went down on the ground, and part of it wasn't no struggle or anything like that. Not trying to take nothing away from Baltimore's players, and I felt like they did have an awesome group of guys, but they went into the ball game with a lot of confidence, and the Giants didn't.
Well, didn't they beat Minnesota like 44-3 or something on the way in? I mean, that should have given them some kind of confidence.
It don't. Well, at least to me, it don't really work like that. You're taught to forget about the last damn game, win or lose, and go and play. So, but they was playing against Baltimore, and they needed to match
their intent.
Yeah, they needed every time Baltimore went out there and made a play. See, and now he jumps offside. So
another flag.
What good is that sack now?
And some more flags. Lots of laundry.
Oh my God! And Parsons catches the ball. Oh my God! We're gonna replay it though. It's gonna be offsides and then holding.
Biggie Shaq says gambling is super popular right now. You ain't kidding, buddy. And I think Missouri's about to, where I live, is about to go gambling here too.
Really?
I'm gonna stick to not doing it. I think it would be bad for me.
I have a FanDuel lounge, like a full facility, 5 minutes away from my work. I could go in the Meadowlands racetrack building.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good for
Yeah, I know they've got it all over here.
So, but I grew up in Las Vegas. My old man, like he thought it was better if it was just isolated and you went to Vegas and you had your weekend fun and then you came home and then didn't have access to it. But I mean, we've had access to it in home poker games or bookmakers anyway. So
Now you've got it on your phone.
I do have it on my phone.
What do you think your dad would have thought of that, Anthony? Like just how easy it is to do
How
now.
prolific it is. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just a different time.
Well,
He got indicted by Robert Kennedy and for just talking on the phone about what the point spread was. They indicted him like he was a gangster, and he lost his gaming license for it. And but that's why he started writing a column, because he lost his business. He had a book, he had a sports book in Vegas. Him and Lefty Rosenthal, the guy that they made the movie
The casino
about.
movie, right?
Yeah. Robert De Niro was playing the Lefty Rosenthal character. He had a sports book, and my dad had a sports book. They were rivals, but my dad was actually better friends with the guy that was running the skim at the Stardust. They called it the Tangiers in the movie. He used to play pinochle with them all the time, and but he didn't want that job, and because he didn't want to be like owned by the mob. And he was a little Jewish accountant from Chicago. No, they knew where all the Capone money was, and that's how they built Las Vegas.
So, just for those that don't know in the chat, Anthony, why don't you talk about your dad for a second, who he was, and
Well, my dad was Jimmy the Greek, and he was the first guy to pick games on television with the NFL Today show in 1977, and he was the only one allowed to pick games. Now they let some sideline girl pick games. It's like crazy. They have like 14 people picking a helmet. Oh, I like the colors on the whatever.
it's big business now. Look how many commercials we've seen for putting in bets just, during this game, at least 3 different companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even the sport.
Now this is the longest half of football.
Right? I thought that this half should have been over. It's like so long ago.
I think we're going to call it at halftime because it's getting a little squirrely out here weather-wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's getting,
All right.
it's getting
You got a hurricane on top of you? Is it really bad?
It comes in squalls.
Yeah.
We're getting the outer bands, but they're starting to get a little nasty now.
For everybody in the chat, we thank you for being here. If anybody's got one last question for Pep, he's here to talk to you about football. Yeah. So if you got a question for Pepper Johnson, get them in now because we're going to be ending at halftime.
Yeah, because you might not. I don't give out the regular normal answers.
Yeah. Exactly.
You get the Pepper answer.
Yeah, the Pepper answer, the truth, that the things that they don't want you to know. I'm sorry. There's no way in the world you telling me that businessman sitting up in that booth is paying that guy for his ability to quarterback a game. Sorry, I can't. I'm not going to be sold on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Jeff. His question is for me. Did I have fun hosting tonight? Man, I had a blast hanging out with these guys, Jeff. Anytime you need me to carry your pads for you here on the Pep Talk, I got you, Jeff.
Where is the Jeff? I had to see him all weekend in the Baltimore con. Jeff was running around.
Yeah. he's you know, keep your TV on. He might be out there with a couple of picketing signs, you know, with the wife of Washington, and trying to and support, because he's going to have him a hard time. Well, then again, what my one pick was the Giants beating them, and we couldn't do it. But no, it's things are it's a lot different from Gibbs and Parcells, I tell you that.
So Marcus said both QBs in this game have bad contracts, and Boston Chris has a question. Looking at the Patriots ownership and the way they're operating right now, you can tell by he's Boston Chris, a buddy of mine. You can tell he's a Pats fan. He said, looking at Pats ownership and the way they're operating now, do you think they're settling for money over championships?
You know what? It's the same, and hopefully I don't sound like a politician and you know, favoring Mr. Kraft, but it's just like when we were talking about that, just getting a little older, and guys, whether your interest, you got to be motivated in a different way, especially in today's games in sports period. Because I not just football, but I think in sports period, you got to find that extra beast to go out there and try to do it. What Kansas City has going on, hey, while we have this opportunity, let's win 3 in a row. Let's go down in history and win 3 in a row. Now, if I'm in the freaking coaching, playing something in the league, especially like the Raiders somewhere, you know, that can do something about that immediately, I am preaching to my freaking team every day. This is not happening on my watch. They could go win 3 after I retire, but they're not winning 3 in a row on our watch, because it's already bad enough with them winning so many freaking championships. But back to the Patriots deal, hey, you won a lot of championships. You want to sit back and take a little breather, and it's going to come back around. But even if it don't come back around, hey, I had a good run while it was happening. I totally understand, Mr. Kraft. But if the watch guard is starting to change in other guards, and Jonathan is probably doing a little bit more, having a little bit more input on what's going on and what's not happening. So because of the changing of the guards, you're going to get a little, you're going to get a little disruption, and that's the problem what they're having over there, because week 1 they came out like you thought they was gonna, would do, after Belichick and going to a Gerard Mayo. That it's just you're happy. It's a changing of the guards, and you're happy, and you want to work for this guy. And you want to go out there and win some games. Then reality set in, and well, I ain't gonna say it set in, and reality something slapped them in the face, and they lost a game, and then now you start questioning what's going on. Now it's to me it's what and when I feel strong with Mayo, that hey, let's go. They lost 2 games, but let's go and get back to the drawing board and find out my players that excites the locker room. So that's what you got to do. You got to get the ball in the offensive player hand that motivates the offensive guys. You got to blitz the defensive guy, or you got to structure defenses where you're not calling his number, but you calling his number so that he can make some plays, and it motivates the team, and it gets the morale of the team going on. And then when that next guy is sitting in the on the bench or watching from afar and say, I can't wait for that to be me, that's when you start winning ball games.
Okay, good. Ken came back. I was like, how are we going to leave? Oh.
I missed a bet when there was a prop bet of total yards of CeeDee Lamb and Neighbors combined, and I missed the bet. I didn't bet it. CeeDee Lamb has 100 yards already.
Jeez.
Yeah, he should be well over 100. That play like that right there was like 70-something yards, wasn't it?
Yeah. But Neighbors had a good half. I think he's got 60.
Again, Anthony, you always gonna stump me with all of that stuff because I can.
I mean, I grew up in Las Vegas, and the son of the most famous gambler in the world at the time, and I can't even wade through all the bets that's available on these apps. It's like I don't even understand some of them. I'm not kidding. I mean, we could make a show out of how many bets. There's like 200 bets available on this game.
Oh, I have some friends that they bet anything too. Which direction they're going to run the ball? Next time they run the ball.
Well, in the Giants' case, it's backwards.
Uh-oh.
Evolution of the black quarterback. That's going to be a series.
And how did they put them guys up there? And they actually have a Philadelphia quarterback and don't have Randall Cunningham up there.
No, I think Randall was in. They had a picture. Let me see. They got Warren Moon. They got Vic. They got Mahomes. They got Donovan.
Donovan.
No, they got the Washington. The first. Doug Williams, the first one first black quarterback to win.
It's no Randall Cunningham. They got two Philadelphia quarterbacks there. Not in that little collage.
No.
Not in that little collage. You can name names.
Well, they should.
All right, I gotta get out of here, fellas.
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right. Good night, Pep. Good being with you again.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone that stuck around in the chat and made comments tonight. We appreciate you all. Jeff, I see you there. He said, miss you guys. Work keeps the lights on. We understand. I kept your seat warm for you. Thank you to Pepper. Thank you to Anthony. And thank you, of course, for the guy who makes the show happen, Ken.
And Jeff, can I have some more butter? More butter, please.
Take care, guys.
All right, bye. All right, so what do you need to...
We're still live, Anthony.
Oh, okay.